Yo, in the building. What up, chill? What up, chill?
What's
How we doing
going
this
on?
evening, brother?
Oh my god, I cannot wait to go to my favorite Chinese restaurant, the New Ho King,
New Ho King.
with a blammy.
Fried rice, duck sauce, and a blammy, Crody.
Okay, I
Don't
got to do
forget the
all three.
fried rice. Don't forget
Hmm?
the fried rice. For sure. What's going on, people? I guess we'll chat a bit here. Wait for some people to hop in. Man, it's been a crazy couple of weeks in hip hop, hasn't it, Jill?
It's been a very rewarding to live through that decade that we just lived through with like peak. Remember when we thought Meek Mill would be our hero? But he just couldn't do it.
Yeah, he was kind of like a punchline. Well, not even kind of like a punchline. It was definitely a punchline.
His Undertaker freestyle rap was. It wasn't freestyle, was it a freestyle? It was like a produced song. It was lame. There was even talks about the WWE who owned the rights to the music saying we need to
We need to
strike
get that
this.
out of here.
Mm.
I kind of liked when he put out the Dream Chasers. Like I liked the idea of a whole album, but it just didn't hit. It didn't have the performance factor. Plus Drake was even at that time, he was playing the media very well, very savvy. And the idea of having back-to-back tracks ready when bro, didn't seem very equipped for this battle in the first place. I think kind of put him in the dead water before he even got started. I've always had my suspicions that beef was fake.
Oh,
But that's just me. That's my conspiracy theory. I'll let that one be what it is. Let me fix the camera here a little bit.
and not to say we didn't get rap beefs. I enjoyed Nicki Minaj what she said in "Swallow," what Nicki Minaj said to Little Kim also in the Eminem song, right? So we've had our moments here and there. Oh,
Nicki Minaj and Remy Ma.
Remy
It was,
Ma. So
it was a
when
little
Remy Ma
spot.
came
That
back,
was a little
that was
spat, yeah.
amazing. It's
Mhm,
not. She's gonna lose points because she used the ether beat, but still.
mhm.
Oh my god, you didn't
Get
write
my
that.
boy Darius in here. What up, Crodies? What up, Groovy? All right, Darius, get you in here. We are currently talking this week in hip hop, talking about Kendrick, talking about Drake. How have y'all felt about the media response to everything, to the track, to Kendrick's track, Who's Up, the response time, everything? I've seen a whole spectrum online. How have y'all seen the reception go?
I've been looking at many reactions, and everybody's from YouTubers. They've all been pro Kendrick Lamar, and that's my explore page. That's based on what get recommended to me.
Sure.
So it's one sided. In real life, though, yes, some of that conversation of what was the first shot? Does this about the AI song? Does that count? The first track that was officially made was actually from. Uh, I'm forgetting the name of the song, but everyone's debating when.
Yeah, like we've also, yeah, you're right. We've changed when the beef actually started. Some people want to start it with first person shooters. Some people say it started with like that because that was the first official shot. You know what I mean?
And I get that there was gradual increments of gradual progression.
Yeah,
We have two diss tracks that are not AIs, and they're not. We have two diss tracks.
exactly.
The one we just heard from Euphoria, and then Drake did one called Push Ups.
Tailor made and push ups were his two.
I only count Push Ups, and I only count Euphoria as
You don't
diss
count
track
Tailor
song.
made.
They count in a different way. We can officially say that there are two diss tracks, one from Drake and one from Kendrick, and everything else I can't really.
We can't just pretend that we didn't hear what we heard, right?
I'm
There
not
was
pretending I didn't hear what I heard. They exist.
There was the proclamation. We are the best. We are the greatest. Obviously, we tried to have Homeboy on here. Clearly there was a spot in this song for him to come in with a verse, but he's not here. But we still the best. And then there was the smack in the face that was like that, right? That was the first official diss. The first response was push-ups. Then there was a double up with Tailor Made. Tailor Made happened. Even though, in the fact that he had to snatch it down off of streaming services just makes it a notch against him. But it did happen. We heard those bars.
Okay. Sure. I'm just devaluing it, right, Darius?
That's true. We did hear those bars, though. We did hear those bars.
I'm not gonna forget. Plus, he went the extra mile. The AI Tupac, the AI Snoop. He put a lot of effort into that. You better recognize the boy.
He did put a lot of effort into that, which I didn't understand that Tupac and Snoop at the beginning. But from what fuck what everybody else is saying, in my opinion, Kendrick is on top at the moment. What his response to Drake, pretty tough, especially some of them lines.
Yeah. No, when we broke it down on Tuesday, it was pretty hectic. It was pretty hectic. I think the majority of what Chill said is pretty accurate. Like if you've got independent, smaller channels, we're looking at bars, we're looking at context, we're looking at, okay, what did he mean? What was he actually adding up? You know, I was kind of disappointed with JBP and their breakdown because they didn't seem like they knew anything. And I was just like, oh, well, I didn't like the beginning. What? Oh, it was too slow. He didn't start fast enough. The beginning, the sample was a Teddy Pendergrass sample. Name of the song, You Are My Greatest Inspiration.
Shout out to your wife.
Shout out to my wife for figuring that out. Also, Teddy Pendergrass was paralyzed, had to spend the rest of his life in a wheelchair, like somebody we know.
Whatever it takes, I know I can make it.
All we got to do is Google. That's all we got to do. We got to Google for like 5 minutes. I know it's people in the background of JBP that ain't got nothing else to do but look on that computer and just type. Like, Parks, what are you doing? Contribute. Google, do something. Also, I thought more people would have picked up on this by now, but the whole middle, the second flow change. I hate when they rap and talk about guns and and turning the nuns. That was a smack to the face to Cole, and I heard it right away. Now people are starting to pick up on it, but they're not. People are not really breaking it down. Is kind of my point. Like, people are not going through and actually trying to listen. They're so used to hearing superficial face level bars from their faves. I won't call out any names, and that's what they've become accustomed to. And so if it doesn't get delivered in that way, I feel like, a little bit of the context is getting lost on people.
And see, I'm a Drake fan. I really, really, really do like Drake. I think Drake is, especially when you put Drake, for me personally, I love Drake when he's on those slower beats and he is just flowing, just going. Like, I love those for Drake. Like, Drake is tough for me in any arena, but as far as Kendrick's response to him, I thought Kendrick really killed that. I really did. I was like, wow.
You know what's funny? I think in this battle, you would have expected Drake, being the more commercial artist, to kind of dominate the charts the way he did against Meek Mill, right? Back to back was all over the radio. It was playing everywhere. You know what I'm saying? They probably played back to back at the Super Bowl that year. He's losing that battle currently to an artist he currently criticized about not having that type of reach. Like, yeah, Kendrick does moments. That's what he said about the Control verse. It was a nice moment. It was cool, But he's not. Are you gonna go back and listen to that? That's what Drake fans say about Kendrick, right? Yeah, it was all right. He has bars, but are you gonna bump that? Well, according to Spotify and Apple Music, everybody's bumping it. Both of them, Like That and Euphoria. We've doubled you twice in your game from the TDE side.
And,
right?
And Rick Ross's song isn't coming over and over again on Spotify or some of the other guys who've made diss tracks.
Exactly.
But his is. So you can't say, oh, just that's based off of my name. No, some songs are not making it to that top chart. Your name isn't that beautiful.
I think people were more enamored with the trolling from Rick Ross than they were from the bars. But I enjoy Champagne Moments. I've liked just about every diss track that's come out from all rap arena in like the last 13 months. I feel like I've enjoyed it all, with the exception of Taylor Made, just because I feel like if you were going to do the AI Tupac and Snoop stuff, you probably shouldn't sound like Drake. Probably shouldn't go in there and rap like yourself and just throw their sound over top of it. I don't think it would have been as offensive to people. Maybe, I don't know. See, it just didn't rub me the right way.
I have to confess, I did not listen to that AI song. I know that it starts with Tupac, and I said,
Mhm.
"This is weird," but I'm not gonna listen to it because it wasn't, it's not you.
It's
I
just,
I know Snoop
I
Dogg
won't
is in the
say it's
middle.
corny. It just like it's almost like he's goading Kendrick into a response from Tupac's voice, which I guess again, you know what Drake is. He's a very calculated guy, and he's doing more narrative than he is rapping at certain points. But even still, man, even giving him that kind of leash, it just didn't go over the way that I think he thought it was. And then obviously he had to pull it down in some legal trouble behind it. So
When
Commodore Triple Salute, what
authenticity
up?
authenticity is what we're arguing here when it comes to this beef specifically, and who's the one who is really about that, and then who's the childhood actor who in his 20s took this rap hobby seriously. That is not the right way to go about it. An AI fake, literally fake rap.
Yeah. Yeah. You raise a good point because I do think at a lot of different turns in this whole spat, he's kind of like unwittingly shown his ass. Like you get into it with Ross, your OG, or one of your OGs, and you go like enlist your mom in the response. You like you post a text conversation with you and your mom with you calling him racist.
Mm.
And that's preemptive to Kendrick coming out and calling you basically a white boy, not because you're biracial, but because of the way you act
You know
and
the
the way that
nuance is
you
lost.
use your blackness. Yeah.
You know the nuance is lost. They're calling him white. You see, what are you talking about? If you're
Man,
biracial, the
no,
colorism is
people
a
are
big
so
deal.
Jesus Christ. People that I didn't think were slow are so slow. What happened to Isaac Hayes' son? What is he on the internet ranting about? Oh, I hated that we're doing colorism. Fam, he's a biracial Canadian Jewish man. Like there's a lot of intersection there. He is not just straight up and down black. The word biracial exists to describe a group of people that exist and have a separate experience. Like it didn't just poof appear out of nowhere. Biracial people are a thing. He's
Right.
both. And so it's not no more than you would want to eliminate his blackness from him trivially. You
Yeah.
can't do that with his white side either, especially when he goes out of the way to show it so often.
Yeah, he's biracial and everything that you just said. Plus, he is a Canadian. The customs that you are familiar with, the existence of people in this city, specifically here, the who are of melanated, who are of the African diaspora, the existence and where they came from is a lot less. You know how in America, you guys are probably, both of you guys, probably ancestors. You guys can go back what 300 years. I know Darius can go back 700 years, but you know
Yeah,
exactly.
Darius did the work, man. We're gonna have to chat about that. We're gonna have to get you on and talk about that one day.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know
for sure.
you're descendants of somewhere in West Africa. Even before you do the DNA test to figure out exactly and pinpoint where, you know that you have ancestors. They were on ships, they were enslaved, and they produced kids, produced kids, produced kids. It got to you. In Canada, some of them exist. Some people with that exact lineage, and some people who Harriet Tubman helped get up north. There are people like that, but the majority is guys who recently, in the last 100 years, had immigrated over from
Immigrated,
parts in
yeah.
Africa, parts in the Caribbean, with their own unique cultures, or as Kai Cenat calls it, cultures. You remember what he said about it? Yeah. All right. I'm very
Yeah,
funny.
we don't have enough time for Kai Cenat tonight.
Is
When
it
you
Kai Cenat or Is that it? Is that how you say it? Okay.
I thought that maybe
I
somebody
don't
correct me if
know.
I'm wrong. I thought that's
I
what it
don't
was.
know. I don't know. I've heard it said many different ways. Kai Senta, Kai Cenat.
Kai Center is nuts.
I'm like, what is the
I
boy's
know it's not
name?
that. I know it's not that. That's the anime character somewhere.
so the makeup of people here, as we know, their parents, majority of people's parents who are black, they're foreign, they speak with a little accent, but the kids were born here first generation or second generation. They're not people whose ancestors were called the word nigger. From there, we don't get the way that in your guys' country, the word has been taken and now it's nigga and now it's got its own like meaning. That stuff is new here. That it doesn't apply here. It doesn't, and it wasn't popular here until right, was 2024, until basically these things got famous and these things kind of homogenized all of our lingo and slang when rap music kind of got popping. And that was an introduction of that kind of lingo. This persona that he's acting like and his verbiage that he's using it's a foreign concept to youth of his generation. Maybe youth now, I'm not gonna pretend
Youth of his
like
generation from Canada.
yeah, the Canadian generation here. Now I it's more widespread. When I was younger, or Drake's a little bit older than me, when he was younger, it just wasn't like that. And it most certainly was not like that on the set of Degrassi, which was occupying a lot of his time, let's remember, and some of these environments he was in. I want you to share my screen because the Isaac Hayes thing, unless you got to retort to any of that.
No, go. Hold on.
No, I did have a question though, more
Go
so
ahead.
about like being black in Canada.
Oh, here we go.
What is that? Are they?
Go ahead. I'll answer your question.
Is it more are they? What is the racism like in Canada?
So you see how
What is it like being black in Canada? I guess is the question.
You get the same music, you get the same stigmas from TV shows and whatnot. So when someone is black, their skin is dark, there still is that dehumanization. There still is you're getting followed around the store. There still exists the police. There's still black neighborhoods, mostly from immigrants who are in low-income housing and they don't really have options to go anywhere. But everyone in the neighborhood seems to be black, with a couple of white kids in there too. It's not. It is diverse.
Right.
You might get like a Ukrainian immigrant nowadays or something like that. But it's the existence of the marginalization is there still. So Isaac Hayes says in his stupid tweet, half black is black. Colorism is corny. Do I agree with that? Of course I do. 100%. Let's focus on
Colorism
unity.
is corny.
Let's not do colorism. That's a true statement alone. But here's what I asked the guy. If you're interpreting the Kendrick line as a diss against half white people, you're taking it the wrong way. And even though I spelled
that definitely wasn't even the point. And that's kind of what I was getting to. Like, even boiling it down to a racial epithet is missing it like by a mile. Like you're misunderstanding his point. His point is that Drake trivializes his blackness. It boils down to the costumes he wears, the hairstyles, the strip clubs that he frequents, the things that he talks about doing with the black women that he dates. That is the type of shit that we're talking about when we're talking about Drake. It's never police stop shooting my people. It's never, hey, let's get a criminal justice bill in there for black people. It's not, hey, let's get qualified immunity out of here. As smart as Drake is, as lyrical as people try to make him, the substance is a 4 out of 10, at least when it comes to black culture. The only time he comes over here is to party and to kick it and say nigga, like you said.
True. Very true.
And that's how it comes off, and that's how it has come off for a long time. But then there's always that shield that he has behind the machines that he is in business with, be that Universal, be that Apple, right? Like he's not a little guy, he's not a little fella. He comes with a lot of weight, and regardless of his authenticity, money speaks very loud. As for Isaac Hayes over here,
you just said it. Money speaks very loud.
Yeah, it's there we go. That'll work. You're right. I don't want to talk about Drake all night.
Okay. Can I show you this whole thread? Because it's important. His line got 1.9k likes. Mine got 2.6 likes.
Yeah.
And he doubled down on it, and that's when I showed him this. Basically everything I already told you. Aubrey's a Toronto childhood actor. Consider the environments that he grew up in. Then in his 20s began adapting to unfamiliar lingo. It's documented how removed he was from even local black culture. That's how I received his Kendrick's line.
It bugged me because it was like somebody I looked up to.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, I remember
it was
this.
like somebody I looked up to at one point. It was somebody that I was like, I used to see out and be like, yo, that's that nigger. You know what I'm saying?
That's that what?
He was learning the lingo. He was still not familiar with it. He was like, yeah, we can say this word. And he used it the wrong way. And then there's this line also. He's in high school and they're asking him, how do you guys talk up there? And he's going to say,
yeah. Oh, yeah. No, we talked about this. Yeah.
So
Go ahead.
Should I
Go ahead.
show
Play
it?
it. Yeah,
Okay.
play it.
Do you have like your words up there that like kind of funky and weird?
The guys at our school, instead of addressing people like the group and saying like, "What are you guys doing?" say "man's like you." It's really weird. Yeah. So "man's like you" are going to that, and then this means like the group.
Crew. That's interesting.
It's not. It's really ignorant.
It's really ignorant. It's really ignorant.
The first part of that statement is, the guys at school, he's not one of the guys. He's not. He's like, which kids are you chilling with?
Yeah.
He's been distant even here, and we have all of the years of like things like the list you just stacked up, where we know like, come on, man, it's pretty apparent now. Go do your music, talk about hot love and emotion endlessly. May not need nothing, y'all do your songs. But no inner scope.
Why was I just thinking about that?
No, I mean, honestly, even like I felt like every bar out of Euphoria was very poignant. It was purposeful. It meant something, even to the degree where he says, I like Drake with the melodies. I don't like Drake when he acts tough. I don't know how many, well, we got a lot of frequent viewers in the chat today. Y'all know I talk about that shit with Drake all the time. The fake tough guy stuff. He's the sensitive lover boy on one end, but I'm also the guy that'll roll up on your block with a bunch of goons. You can't have that. You can't be on HBO's The Shop talking about how you spared a man and his career and you didn't want to upset LeBron, but you that boy and all this other stuff that you talking about. Like even to the point where like you're taking ownership over people's passing. In the case of XX Tentacion, like he gets into a lot of nasty work with this persona that he puts off. And I think in the long run, it's going to cause him more trouble than it helps him.
Whatever came of that? I remember him getting called. Didn't he get called in to the court
They
case?
said he did, but we never seen him with no purple or nothing like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But all I know is you put it in the bars, right? You floated it in the bars. And that enough to me, whether you did or didn't, it's a little, you know what I mean? Like if you did and you floating it, well, now you a different Drake, legitimately, you a different Drake than I know. And then if you didn't, that's even nastier because it's like you're trying to claim someone else's work, and that work ain't valid. It's not like they took a guy who didn't need to be here off, Yeah, I don't know. Let's leave that where it's at. We'll circle back this weekend on some more Kendrick. I'm sure there'll be some more discourse to talk about. X-Men 97, episode 8. What'd you guys think?
Magnifico.
I thought it was another brilliant episode. I'm sure we'll get into other things, but I thought it was another brilliant episode. I think that it just continues to raise the bar for not just animation, but I think just again in general, storytelling in general. The way that I said this last night on my show, the way that they are able to have so many different storylines going on in a 31-minute episode, but then wrap it all together at the end to still make it all connect, and you still feel connected to every single person that they've shown. It's brilliant. It's brilliant.
The highlight really for me was Magneto was right, because that speaks to volumes.
Yeah.
And when we have a super woke line like that, which it was, when we think about the oppression that was faced from Magneto's background, Eric Lenchner's background, right? When we got to see like the close up on his the numbers that they got tattooed or
Boy, I'm so glad you pointed that out, man. It's go. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go.
Yeah, I might be going a different way than you're going, but it's good that we're starting off on the same path. When I see that and I notice, okay, someone who knows what it's like to be oppressed, who realized who the oppressors are, and then knows their tendencies and how like we got to fight. Like, why are we pretending like the freedom is going to be given? It's not realistically, bro. Right. And you go to the North Pole and just Magneto was right. You do got to fight. And as Malcolm and Martin are Professor Xavier and Magneto, Bo DeMaio was saying Malcolm X. That's what he said on this final episode.
Right.
Yeah, no, he definitely chose. For
sure.
So we've got Bastion. So Bastion, basically, the way that I understood it, is an offspring of Nimrod. Is that right?
Yes, he is an offspring of Nimrod, but he's an offspring of a reincarnate. Well, yes, offspring of all of them, Master Mold, Nimrod, like reincarnation of all of them. But he is now that prime sentinel that he
He's
is.
born,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay. I feel like I'm so confused about where we're going narratively here. I feel like they're trying to get some sort of synergy, and that was the point of this lame ass reboot they're doing with the comics. But Krakoa is seeming like it's all but done. But there's so
Genosha.
many similarities. Well, yeah, obviously Genosha, right? We just saw that, but I'm saying there's very similar tracks to how Nimrod comes online in the the Powers and X timeline to this, right? It is somewhat of an organic birth because the Nimrod in the comics most recently is actually Dr. McGregor's husband, the one that was killed on that first mission at the Master Mold at the Sun. That
Yes.
general was McGregor's husband, and she put his consciousness into the Nimrod build to get it online. So it's kind of similar, right? They kind of put a human in the Nimrod, but is this putting us on the track to the ultimate mutant AI human war? In which case, why would you do that without Krakoa?
I think that is where they're trying to go with it, and I also think that they're doing the whole storyline. Rob was talking about it on Comics Explained, and he, again, everybody kind of knows Rob's stuff. Rob knows his X-Men stuff. He is on fire with his theories right now. He's been right about almost every episode.
Yeah.
He thinks they're going towards that Hope Summer storyline, where all the mutants. She's like that. She was the mutant that was born.
The Utopia,
Yes.
Where she like takes over the Phoenix Force and all that, right?
Yes. Yeah. So having maybe going that storyline with it, there's with 2 episodes left. What episodes of 97 did he say to watch? He said watch One Man's Worth. I think there was like 3 episodes he said watch. One Man's Worth. I think one of them was Days of Future Past, and I forget what the other was, but he said watch those, and that will explain where they are going with the last 3 episodes.
God damn it! Maybe we'll get a Bishop sighting again. Holy shit! He's been gone a long time. My boy Cable came back, and they just so happened to splice Bishop off for no damn reason. Why did they get separated? Who knows?
Oh well. They did explain it. They said that they got separated in the time stream. When they were in the time stream, they got separated somehow. And Cable,
even though he was holding him,
Bishop Cable doesn't know where Bishop.
Did he drop him? Like what the hell happened? Did he like throw him? The hell?
And here's my thing too. Not just Bishop. And again,
oh no, say it. Go ahead, say it. Say it. We were going to go.
I want to know. Yeah. We were going. I want to know where the fuck is Storm, man.
You mean the entire planet is under attack and Storm is chilling? Spider-Man is swinging around, but Storm is chilling.
I stand here incorrect. I stand here telling you guys, hold on. There's a few more episodes. We got a lot of love. She's not on screen because she will be on screen. I'm wrong.
Bro, but I thought the same thing. There's a point in the reaction that I uploaded where we were talking about it, and it's where Jubilee and Roberto are running on the rooftop, and I'm like, okay, they like doing full circle type shit in X-Men 97. It seems like, so maybe their full circle moment for Storm coming back is her rescuing Jubilee again, because she rescued her the very first episode from the mall. So I don't know, fitting that she rescues her this time from the mall from the Sentinels. So when I saw someone flying, I'm thinking, oh, here, but I didn't hear no lightning. Then I'm thinking, no, but here she comes. It's Roberto. And so I'm like, where's Storm at, bro? There's no way she's still chilling with Forge after what she watched on. I mean, she saw Genosha and there's been 2 episodes now since that Genosha attack. Yeah. And I'm like where?
It's gone. Magneto's presumed dead. The mutants are scattered. Now all of a sudden it's these rogue AIs running around, popping out of human bodies. She's napping, or what is? What's going
Hey,
on?
if episode 11, if season 2, if they go, where were you, Wakanda? Then hey, you know what? It's fine. I forgive you guys.
I'd accept that. I would accept that. But my only thing with this is, well, with even the whole, Wakanda thing, like when would that even take place? Like, when would we even see a Wakanda or see
Will
T'Challa?
Eyes of Wakanda then be connected in the greater Marvel universe? I don't think it behooves them to have animated properties as
No.
standalones.
Not at all. The only problem
So-
with Eyes of Wakanda is it is way before T'Challa. It is well, not way before T'Challa. It's following I think it's following T'Chaka around that time.
It's the history of people attacking
history.
Wakanda, getting their resources, which is like the opposite of the point of Wakanda. We're supposed to be proud of how there's this untouched place, but hey,
Yeah,
They
it's
keep calling
it's
it
like
the most
following.
technologically advanced country in the world, but then they just get it raped every time, like just ran through.
That's why anytime I talk about Wakanda, I always say, yeah, maybe in Marvel Comics, it's the most technologically advanced place
Not
in the nation.
MCU.
In the MCU, Wakanda Forever will tell you anything and everything you need to know about how Wakanda is inferior to the outside world. It seems like, I don't understand how, I've said this before, and again, this is not a Wakanda conversation, but Namor is just able to just pop up in Wakanda whenever. Suri, undetected. The Queen Mother and Suri are just chilling in Wakanda, and he just pops up and talks about the grass, and then it's just like, where's security at, and then and I'm done after this. The biggest thing, your fight. He flooded Wakanda, killing the Queen Mother, pointing to the princess, saying, "You are the queen of Wakanda now." Then the master plan of the smartest nation, most technologically nation in the world is, let's attack the water people in the water.
Let's go in the water. Let's go get on a big boat and fight in the water.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, no, there was a lot there for sure. But let's run with that, right? I think the problem there obviously was a lot of things, but in that particular instance, I think was attention to detail and trueness to the source. And that has not been the problem with X-Men 97. Save it for Roberto da Costa, Storm, and Bishop. And it just keeps ringing true. I guess I will give you a pass on Roberto because it clearly is very special to him, and it means a lot to his own story to make that happen in Roberto. Why it needed to be Roberto, I'll never know. But it seems to be important to him. Can't forgive you on the Bishop and Storm. And looking at that in unison with what's going on with Roberto, even though you're highlighting him, it kind of makes it worse. I can't not see it. I can't not see that Storm's been in sideline for pretty much the entire season. I can't not see that Bishop hasn't been seen since episode 3. I can't not unsee that Roberto's origin has been completely flipped, right, and turned into your story. I can't unsee that. And I can't unsee the fact that they're all black, and that's, the linking factor between them. It's just upsetting. It really is to see so much detail go into all the other characters and see the ones that they chose to throw away. And I guess I'm supposed to believe that it was by circumstance. And just kind of happened that way.
And this is why when we did the very first stream that we did that Thursday that kind of started our every Thursday discussions, we were talking about that video that I had put out and how everybody was in the comments. Everybody was saying, "Oh, this is so, stop trying to woke it up and stop complaining." At this time, I think it was only episode 3 or 4 that was out, or maybe 5. And everybody was saying, "Oh, there's 5 episodes left. Storm's going to show back up." And, I didn't comment back to anybody. I put in there, I put a pinned comment saying I think my comments may have been misunderstood or whatever, but whatever. But here I sit with 2 episodes left. and
where has
I'm telling you, bro, I'm going to hold, I'm sure, of course she will show up. Well, I don't want to say of course, because we said, of course, about
one
episode
of these
8.
days, you got to eventually.
Yeah, I know for sure she'll be in the finale. I don't know if she's in this next episode or not. I would assume she is, just because of that little trailer thing they put out. There were scenes and lines in there from her that hadn't heard and seen before. But she I'm sure will do some badass shit in these next 2 episodes. But that still does not negate the fact that she lost her powers in episode 2, 3, whichever.
Yeah,
we spent the 3 episodes with her with Forge, trying to regain her strength and everything like that. And even though the powerful badass scene was cool with her regaining her powers, we haven't seen Storm since, and that's the point. It's not the point of, oh, she's coming, because see, now the conversation, because we just put out that video. We just put out the reaction to this last episode, and in that reaction, I talked about Storm being absent. I talked about Bishop being absent, and there was somebody in the comments. I don't know who they were. They commented saying, oh, I feel the same way as a black man. I'm like, oh, where's Bishop? I want to see more Bishop. Somebody now is saying, because this is now, now the comments are not, there's 5 more episodes. The comments are now, well, they're doing more seasons. So where exactly. So when do we get to fit in? Is it next season? Is it 5 more episodes? Where do we want to when do you want us to shut up? So I'm just like, it's not the point of, I understand there's more episodes. I understand there's more seasons. The point is, we're watching it now. These are characters that you are using now that are not
popular too. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's the point. So I'm just like, 2 episodes left. She's gotta really bring it on this one.
Yeah, I agree. And you don't need a better example of how things, especially in the Disney company, can go left with popular series. You don't need to look any further than Mandalorian.
There too.
Oh, I'm talking about like television series, but yes, Wakanda Forever is also a good example. But yeah, Mandalorian, great example. You went from having one of the greatest TV moments in history with the return of Luke Skywalker to having one of the most reviewed bomb seasons on the internet. And that was very, very disappointing. Same company though. So be wary.
I forgave the bad CGI. I was so enthralled. I was watching it over. I told somebody, hey, I know you don't watch the show, but you're a Star Wars fan, right? Here, watch this. And I gave him that experience because he would have got it spoiled to him, right? And I showed him that. It was an amazing thing. Darius, did you see it 16 times?
Not 16, but I do remember, just being a Star Wars fan, like all the other people reacting to it, thinking to myself, who is that? Is that Luke? That's got to be Luke. That's Luke. It's Luke. Is it?
Damn, I was at work, and as soon as he hit the green saber, I jumped out of my seat. I was like, what? I didn't know they was bringing him in here.
Yeah, no, it was, they went through great lengths to keep that a secret. So it was great. It was great.
I think I saw Jimmy Chan and who's Bo-Katan, who plays Bo-Katan, the actor.
Katie Sackhoff.
Katie Sackhoff.
And they were talking about it, and she was like, I guess Jimmy Chan knew the whole time. But she was like, I didn't know. I mean, they told me it was somebody else, and I didn't know. She was like, freaking R2-D2 was right there. C-3PO was, or not C-3PO, R2-D2 was like right there. And he just painted him green. And she was like, no, but I didn't know. Okay, I didn't know.
They said they went to the lengths of even doing a fake Plo Koon head and telling people that it was Plo Koon. Yeah, they're telling people it's Plo Koon. So it was
Plo Koon hopped up on that ship and cut through all of those troopers.
In wrestling, you're not supposed to work the boys. You're supposed to be open and honest with your cast so that you guys can build credibility. In pro wrestling, when you're carrying a guy over your head, there's a lot of trust. And everyone needs to know that we are in it together. So you don't lie to your staff. In acting, in entertainment, in Hollywood, you lie to these people. You be dishonest. Too many loose lips, and it's happened too often.
I have one more 97 question to add. Bo was asked by someone on Twitter if Kitty Pryde and Bobby were going to be in any upcoming seasons. And to where he commented back, I cannot speak to any upcoming seasons with the sad face emoji. So we know that obviously he has been fired and he's presumably not coming back for future seasons. So with Bo leaving, there was obviously other writers on the show that are talented and creative, just like Bo, but Bo is the head writer. He's the one that obviously has put so much into these two, what we're seeing so far and what we're going to see, I'm assuming, in season 2. in season 3 if he's not there for future seasons and even this animated movie that they've been talking about wanting to do? Do you lose the spirit and soul that is currently 97 without Bo?
You would think so. You would think that you need someone who understands oppression, and he's got a PhD in that. And for someone else to take over the X-Men, I'm worried.
I would say that I think X-Men 97 success has more to do with the collectivism, the single track mind and direction and dedication to that. And so that involves more than just Bo DeMaio.
Mhm.
That involves all the writers in there, the producers, the animators. So it's hard to say that you lose everything about the show because one guy's not there. Now, he's driving the ship. He's the conductor. So they are going to have to get somebody, I believe, that's already in-house to take it over. I think it would be a mistake to get an outside like director to try to come in and take this over and change it.
Replicate it, right? Yeah.
I think they should get somebody that's already in-house, whoever his head writer was, his head showrunner was. That's probably who should be the next guy to be tapped. Whoever was closest to DeMaio. I guess my only hope is that they have a little bit more open mind about maybe some of the show, the limelight that we're passing out there would be my hope.
Wait, they have an open mind. Let's be honest. We're talking about Kevin Feige, yeah?
I mean, even Wolverine. We can't get none of my boy. This was the first episode he did anything besides make jokes.
Somebody's got background noise.
Oh, that was sorry. That was my that was something I was doing. In the last thing on 97, I forget the dude's name. He posts some crazy shit on Twitter. God, I forget his name. I think he does like reactions and stuff though. But he posted, if Marvel can bring back James Gunn after everything, why can't they bring back Bo? To where Screen Geek commented under it, the little scoopers commented under it and said, when it all comes out, I'm going to circle back to this. So I'm thinking to myself, do they know what did he? Do you know what he did?
I want to stay out of that, man, because I just don't know. And
that's it. I just don't know.
We don't even have an accusation. Like it can't just be over OnlyFans. I can't. Right. Unless he was just doing some unholiness on the damn OnlyFans. I can't imagine that would be. But see, my thing, 97.
My thing is, even if he was doing unholiness on OnlyFans, you would have to be subscribed to know that. Like, you would have to be a subscriber from Marvel.
You guys, listen. What happened with us and Bo DeMaio is going to stay within the studio. We're not going to reveal, release, or disclose anything. The way that we operate is we let Variety or one of them other publications get rid of our cast and crew who are problematic, and you never need to know why or how or what the reason was.
House.
Okay. We learned from our James Gunn situation. All right. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah.
I asked more questions, Kevin. I don't know why you just bounced like that off the stream. But yeah, Kevin, no, I don't know. Huh?
Oh, Kevin was here.
Oh yeah, no, yeah,
he stopped by.
I think I don't know, man. I just lost my thought.
I'm sorry.
You guys go. Just lost it. Yep.
Well, Bo DeMaio getting fired. The reason why.
Yeah. It's scary. It's scary. I think most people that like the show want him back, but there's just that question mark out there, man. What if he was like Kamala Khan's dad and he was in some young girl's DMs? Then I'm out, then I'm out. But then if, he just like got a DUI or, it was really just the OnlyFans stuff, which Darius just pointed out, you would have to be paying a monthly subscription to see it, to confirm he was doing it.
That's why when the headline came out the first time and they were like, well, not the headline that came out, the rumor, the speculation rather, from people on Twitter saying that they had heard that it was the OnlyFans, and somebody had said, I forget what they said, something like it was described as whatever. But to give a description of it, that means you're subscribed.
Yeah. I mean, to that degree, I guess somebody could have told them or alerted them about it, and then they pay for the subscription to confirm it.
To confirm.
That's possible. But to that degree, to go to that length to find it means that it's private enough that it's not just readily available to, the children he'd be serving with X-Men 97. So like, I don't even understand what with that part of it, why that would constitute a firing outside of just like a blanket morality clause, which are people really still signing those?
What if he was monetizing? Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say I don't even know where the link would be. It's not like it's in his Instagram bio. It's not like it's in his Twitter bio. Because those bios at the time when working for Marvel were his professional. It was it didn't have his and then by the way, here's the link to my own.
The OnlyFans letting the link to it. Yeah, nah.
Right. Like so, it's like you would have had to go in like you. I believe it'd be just like with Twitter. Like if you want to find someone's Twitter, you would put in like, if you're doing a URL or whatever, you'd have to know the username, the whatever. Yeah. So like there had to have been work put into finding it.
Yeah. I believe it.
The Spider-Man grave on the tombstone. When that kid died, they put Spider-Man on the grave. Disney want to know part of it. You're not going to use our brand to associate with that.
Oh, he may have been doing. That was sick.
And he may have been doing something with the brand of X-Men on OnlyFans. He may have been dressing up like a character.
Ew.
He may have been.
Ew.
Well, okay. Yeah. Ew. Exactly.
Tony
he may be doing three Wolverine's claws, but one of them is not a claw. Snicked.
Hey, then he got the bald head. He was rolling out in a wheelchair like Professor Xavier. Hello, boys.
I'd subscribe.
Hey, brother. That scene with Magneto hemmed all up in the X pose, somebody retweeted that and said, tagged him in it. So hey, maybe he was on. This was it. Maybe he was on OnlyFans like that. I don't know.
I saw a meme about that.
Years of Logan as the lead and co-lead in upcoming movie. I'm a huge Wolverine fan, but I want to see more Storm. Didn't get enough Rogue, Gambit, and Cyclops. Yeah, I agree on Storm. I agree most part on the Wolverine. I was cool on not seeing him through like the first 5 episodes. But then when he like slowly became like X-Men 97's version of the MCU Hulk, he's just kind of like a dumb punchline. It's kind of wearing on me a bit. I want him to like go hunt Omega Red or something. We saw him in the when the blackout happened or whatever. Yeah, go send Logan off to go hunt Omega Red or something. Give him something to do because I don't enjoy the old grumpy grandpa in the mansion.
Unfortunately, the stories are right about 2003 that they're adapting, and that's when X-23 comes in. So when he does get his highlighted episode, it'll be to usher in the real Wolverine.
Kenny. Yeah. Okay. Well, great for that. Let's pivot a bit away from X-Men 97. I know, Chill, you wanted to talk about your boy Winston wanting to play Batman, not Lucius Fox, wanting to play Batman. Thoughts?
Everything I've ever told you guys about race swap characters and how it would really suck if a bunch of resources from Warner Brothers Studios, and we're talking $200 million, actually went to this casting and this movie, and because then they would say, look, we're doing enough black movies, there it is. And I would be sitting here like, wow, we're really going to go through not just a DC Batman movie, a trilogy of films and crossover appearances of Justice League with Winston Duke as the Batman. If this were to be successful, we're going to really have that. And that'll be the excuse to why that we're not getting these black superheroes that are actually black, like Static, like Icon. I'm trying to name people who are not John Stewart, but I would say that
Mr. Terrific.
I would be like, oh, so when we're over here complaining there's not enough representation, if Winston Duke does get that role, that's what it comes at the expense of.
First of all, let's just go ahead and get this out of the way. Winston Duke is never playing Bruce Wayne.
Ever.
Like not because Winston Duke is black, because I think they would think about it for a couple people. They probably think about it for Yaya or Michael B. Jordan. They'll think about it for a second. There's no way Winston Duke is ever going to play Bruce Wayne. I don't think Winston Duke is talented enough to be Bruce Wayne, in my personal opinion.
Solomon Grundy. Bruce? Sure. No.
Yeah, not Bruce. Secondly, something that's sticking out to me is that I think I always operated under the assumption that black actors get pigeonholed into these race swaps. Like if you want your opportunity to be seen on this platform or get the exposure that these type of films give you, you'll play whatever. And then I kind of start looking around at what some of those actors choose to portray or the roles they choose to take. Like let's take Brian Tyree Hill for instance, right? I'm thinking Chloe Zhao gave him Fastos as like, box checking character. Like he's black and he's gay. We can check off 2 representation boxes at once and you'll be a solid character. But then I'm realizing also that Brian Tyree Hill is also gay, right? Like he's definitely gay. I can see that now. So like maybe that is the role in what she wanted to enter. Maybe the changes in that character, he had something to do with it. Maybe that extends to other actors in Hollywood. Maybe Yaya wanted to be Wonder Man. If Winston Duke, a guy who had an opportunity to play an original black character in a black franchise in the biggest studio in Western media,
Yeah.
and he wants to play Batman, then I don't know what to say. Like you had an opportunity. You try to tell us what the opportunity was. You remember when he was scolding us about not knowing what special opportunity Black Panther was for us, and that we were so fortunate just to have it on screen and we should thank them more. Well, that same actor feels so great about the franchise he's already in. He wants to go be Batman.
Bingo.
Yeah. What does that say about what you already think about this great Black
What
Panther
does that
IP?
say about what you say about the franchise that you're currently in? Yeah, I
Bingo.
want to go to the rival studio and play Batman.
Yep, bingo. And see, my thing is, everything you said on that standpoint is so true. From a race swapping standpoint, they are never ever. And we both have already said this. They are never ever going to race swap Bruce Wayne. And me personally, I don't want them to race swap Bruce Wayne. For me, Bruce Wayne is one of the ones that him being white is one of those things that is integral to his story.
Old money.
To his background.
Blue, I'm gonna correct you really fast. He said Bruce Wayne, Clark Kent, Peter Parker never be played by a black man. You're right about all of those, save Peter Parker, because Michael Jackson literally was going to play Peter Parker before Marvel got started. He was going to be Peter Parker. And I don't know if they're still trying to do it, but they never confirmed whether or not the Michael B. Jordan Superman movie was going to be Clark Kent or Val Zod or Icon or whoever.
It's from recent James Gunn talking about it, getting asked about it on Twitter. It's still the Val Zod.
Is it Val Zod? Great. Okay.
It's still
okay.
Val Zod.
So yeah, then no to Clark Kent. I think Peter Parker probably the only one that had a chance.
Yeah.
Is Michael B. Henry Cavill's age yet? Because I want him to be too old for the role.
Man, what up?
No, he's not. He's not. But no, I like I said, I just
buy the company. Hey.
Oh yeah, he was. Mike was definitely going to do that.
I mean, that's what you got to do. That's what you would have to do at that point.
But that was the thing. He was such a big fan of Marvel and wanted to play these characters so bad that he was willing to buy it to make it happen.
And at that time, Marvel was in terrible financial shape, so it's like it was probably on the cusp of happening, and then things happen.
But like I said, as far as Bruce Wayne, I think him being white is integral to his story, his background. I mean, that's him being the billionaire, the whole.
When you start talking about some of the psychology of the character, it I don't think it works for a black person. I don't think a black person goes into the poorest neighborhoods in his city and beats up on people that he assumes are degenerates, But that I we probably got some Batman fans in here, so I don't want to offend nobody. But yeah, Winston Duke, man, I implore you, fam, look for some characters that look like you and
popularize them.
Think you'll have a little bit more success. Imagine a guy like Winston Duke that's not, I don't think he's necessarily pegged as a leading guy, right? but to take over a role like Night Thrasher or take over a role like Mr. Terrific, and like Chill just said, elevate that character. Because while your name is hot right now, you can try and go vie for a Clark Kent, Bruce Wayne type position, right? You can definitely do that. And if somehow you mistakenly stumbled into that position, they would eviscerate you. Before you ever got a chance to show who you were and what you could do in the role, they would eviscerate you. They would kill you online. They would review bomb the trailers. They would review bomb Rotten Tomatoes. And you would be essentially what Moses Ingram was to Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like, is that what you want? I can't imagine, like, I don't know. See, in my mind, no, it doesn't make sense that they would want that. But at the same time, they keep getting these roles, and I can't explain why they keep taking them. You know,
because they
Keke Palmer.
Because none of them
wants
really
to be
know.
Rogue. I don't understand it. I don't get that.
Because
Like,
none
bro,
of them
there's so
really.
many black. You don't even want to be Aurora Monroe. You didn't even push yourself to the top of the list. You went and got a B-list mutant that's not your color, and that's who you're trying to that's who you want to be in the MCU. As if there are no black goddesses that you can play as yourself, not a black woman cosplaying as Rogue.
Like this comic book character from Concrete Comics named Zuriel, who you could have like made the next big thing. I'm trying to hold it, but I can't really. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We keep interrupting you, Darius. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say because these are people that these characters just look cool to them. They've seen these characters in pop culture somewhere, or maybe they've watched the movie once and like, oh, I've seen that character and that character's really cool. I want to be that character. I mean, I've cosplayed as that character before. Yeah. And now it's like, oh, now I can play most of them cannot tell you shit about the current story being told in the MCU. They just know the MCU is hot. I saw Spider-Man. I saw the Spider-Man movie. I think I can do this. Tom Holland's doing it. Zendaya's doing it. So it's like, it's the cool thing. But for those of us that actually know this stuff, it's like you're playing a character that, one, again, like you said, is a B-list mutant. She doesn't look like you. And on top of her not looking like you, you just want to play her because it's cool. It's not a...
Because people put you in a fan cast.
Yeah.
And it went viral online.
Yeah.
Professor the Film Fan says, could he play Steel? What do you think? Winston Duke is Steel in DC.
He could play Steel.
Can we revive the Steel franchise, or did Shaq bury it too deep?
No secondary characters. If you're secondary to Superman, and we know what your character has, like a glass ceiling on it. Is he secondary
to Superman? I think is Steel a solo character though?
I perceive him as a secondary Superman, so that's just me speaking. I would prefer not those characters.
Oh, my bad. I thought you were looking up Steel.
I'm trying to think of some.
I was going to show you a cosplay. No. That is for.
Okay, my bad.
I was having a good time over here, huh? So this is a cosplayer, and when the conversation was happening, she's a black cosplayer, and she was talking about in a recent video, she was talking about how people get mad at her when people who discover her for the first time leave nasty comments on her. No one here is mad at this, just because you enjoyed Poison Ivy here, or character there.
No. Yeah, not cosplaying. No.
I mean actors choosing to play white characters for media consumption. Right. That is what I mean.
Yeah. Now I'm just enjoying myself.
Blue says they don't necessarily care about the characters, only about their stardom and popularity. If that's the case, why not put yourself in the best position to be received? Do you think that you are going to be received when these characters have been produced one way for half a century, and then all of a sudden here you come looking completely different? Like, people view things visually, and I think it's a very naive thing not to at least factor that into your consideration, especially when you're talking about selling stuff. I've been in sales my entire professional career. It is a misnomer to not factor in people's most primal instincts when it comes to selling them things. Mm-hmm. And if you're going to label everyone an ist or a phobe or some type of cretin because they don't move the way that you move politically or socially, you're never going to sell them anything. So I just think that in the case of them taking some of these roles, it does them more harm than the residual exposure does them good. Let's see here.
This one? Oh.
Hollywood uses popular black actors to elevate white characters. That is also a fact. It's also a fact.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to get back to you to the list we had set up here, fellas. Give me a minute.
Those are suggestions. You mean the one that I sent you? We don't gotta cover them all.
I want to see if there was anything else in there that.
Oh, do the last one.
Relevant.
The last one was a good suggestion.
Nope, won't be doing that.
What were they? What were they again? Let me go.
Last one's horseshit.
No, you're talking to a winner himself.
I want to talk about let's talk about Mufasa. Mufasa.
Okay,
live
we can talk
not a
about
live
Mufasa.
action, but what would we even call that? Is that still animation?
Photorealistic.
Sure. Photorealistic version of Lion King series. We're doing a prequel featuring Simba's daddy, Mr. Mufasa, who is being retconned as the adopted member into the royal family.
Oh,
instead
really?
of Scar. Yeah, very interesting.
Really? I did not know that one. It was already news to me in the trailer that Kiara was in it. I didn't know that this was going to be a storytelling.
I'm so confused. That is his granddaughter. How the holy hell?
So the way that it's happening now is, and again, I didn't learn this until someone explained it to me after that trailer. So it's the whole film is a story. Rafiki is going to be telling Kiara the story of her grandfather, and while telling that, they're going to show flashbacks and show her and things like that. Blue Ivy is voicing her. I hope and I don't expect her to be, but I hope she's a better voice actress than her mother. And I'm don't come for me.
I'm nervous for that little girl, man. I'm nervous for her just because this is huge. But I will say, if ever there was a mother who I trust to prepare her daughter in the way that she needs to prepare for a opportunity like this, is Beyonce.
Oh yeah.
Like seeing the type of work Beyonce puts into her productions, I know her child's not going to be anything less than impressive. I guess I'm a little bit more anticipating the fanfare around it, positive and negative. Right? Like, don't pump her up too high too early. It don't kill her if it doesn't come out perfect, like the first movie that they did in this animation style.
Yeah. No, it's it'll be interesting to see. I did not know that Mufasa was the adopted one in this story. So Scar's the treasured son, I guess.
The actual crown prince. And I guess that would make sense towards the motivations of him always wanting to kill Mufasa and get him out the way.
Yeah.
It actually was his. But that just wasn't the way the story was told. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I so much prefer the original story. The original story was he was just jealous of his brother. He was like, that he was jealous. He was treated better.
They're combining. Did you guys ever watch the second Lion King, the prequel one about it was Simba, Tiara, and what was that boy's name?
Kovu.
Right?
I love that one.
They're combining that story, or they're taking that story and basically trying to tell Mufasa's story. Like Kovu is essentially, from what I'm getting from it, he was adopted in this one. Yeah, he's the adopted Scar's son. And he somehow makes it into the royal family. He dates Kiara, whatever her name is. And so it's kind of similar.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Are you guys
similar.
trying to make me disinterested? Because the story is interesting to me. Plus, when you have the Rafiki giving the story and playing it, now you're introducing Kiara and you're prepping people for a live action, photorealistic Simba's Pride. Like, you're gonna get a Kiara story next. Now here, she's not gonna be dominating the story, but at least now you're familiar with her. So when we try to sell this movie to you 3 years from now, you'll want to see Kiara also.
See it. Yeah. No, I the only trepidation I had was over the retcon of Mufasa not being actually born into the royal family. That was the only thing that didn't make sense to me. But beyond that, I didn't know much else about it. I didn't even know the setup about Rafiki telling her a story. So that's a compelling intro, and it kind of lines up. Now it kind of puts it in order why Blue Ivy is in this at all.
So Jay-Z's not hiding the world from his daughter?
No.
No, he is not. He's being a father. You know, he didn't have to get whooped into doing that like some Canadians we know.
Yeah, Beyonce is. We all saw it. I'm sure Beyonce's coming back. Glover's coming back. Yeah, as Nala. He'll be back as Simba. Yeah, so it's I guess it's also showing stuff we didn't see in Simba's Pride of Kiara as a lion cub, different aspects and things like that. So I'm a Lion King fan. I don't dive into the rabbit holes, but I have seen the YouTube videos explaining like the history, the mythology. I don't know if you've seen these on YouTube.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yes.
Disney used to be so dedicated to shit like that, like connecting the stories. You know what I'm talking about, too? So let me give you a little example, right? So they said that Bruno from Encanto is connected to Hercules and Wally.
Wow.
It's this one long through line. There's a scene in there in Hercules where the guy is like in like overalls, got crazy kind of wild hair, a little mustache, whatever, brown skinned guy. He's in Rome. And he's talking, the world's gonna end, the world's gonna end. The future that he saw in Encanto was a destroyed world, they said. And then also he had a boot with a plant popped out of it growing because he knew the future. Like in Wally, they had to grow that little random plant because nothing would grow out of that boot.
I don't remember that scene. No.
And Wally, remember the plant that they found? That's how they knew Earth was inhabitable again.
I only watched it once, but okay.
God damn it. But yeah, no. They used to do a lot.
Sure, it's like one of the main parts of the damn movie. They found the plant.
God damn it.
I just remember the fat people who are immobile. They're not active.
Do you remember seeing Scar's, like his pelt in Hercules? Like they had skinned Scar.
Yeah, I might have seen those TikToks. Yeah, I remember seeing that.
That he was in there. Yeah, so they don't do that type of shit anymore. Like it's not.
Now we're gonna find out how Scar got his.
Not that long ago, so yeah, that's still relevant, but it's not as much. You don't find them as much.
Share my screen really quick. It's this. If you've seen this,
there's four. There's four like rectangles down below us right here, and
I only got 3.
Okay, then you're not sharing.
My fault.
I want to know how Scar got his scar. That'll be interesting.
Well, I mean, in the little lore that these people talk about, it's his dad that gave. Here, I'm trying to show you.
My daddy gave me that scar.
Joe Jackson. Sorry.
Got a Ben and a Jack.
I thought it was Benjamin, like, $100 bill. I didn't really get that one. It went over my head.
Little Ben.
Okay, now you should be able to share it.
Yep, there we go.
So you see this, like this dude right here. Hold on. This dude does like lore videos, like how people do like Star Wars lore videos or stuff like that. He does Lion King Disney lore videos. Like this is like the complete Lion King family tree. So I'm assuming, I don't know if they're going to use these names, but I'm assuming if we're going to see Scar and we're seeing a young Mufasa, we are then going to see their parents, which would be on this little family tree thing. Cause he does like a whole ass, like he's dedicated. Like he does a whole, like, yeah, he like does a breakdown. It's like, it's deep. I'm like, damn, I didn't know Lion King went like that. So yeah,
I sure as hell didn't know who Scar and Mufasa's daddy was.
Yeah, like no, and it goes like Simba and Nala's kids, and
down like, there is like the TV show that's on.
Yeah, the TV show Lion stuff. Guard, yeah. So it's like he's got the whole complete family tree.
Shit.
Yeah.
Nice. And does he break down the songs also?
No, he doesn't break down.
He says he's brushing up on looking down. He's working on his roar. That's because the lion's as tall as the roar. And
No, he doesn't. He doesn't break it down like that, but he definitely goes deep into their stuff. So I'm just like, okay, maybe you're gonna see some of these, not some of these folks, but at least these people, whoever
I like
their
the
parents
picture
are.
he used. Look at the picture he used for Simba, looking up at his dad. In the clouds. That's smart.
Nah.
That is smart. But yeah, that dude. Yeah, but the
All
movie
right.
looks good. The movie does look good. Or the trailer looks good from what we've seen.
Well, gentlemen, we have lost about half the audience, so I think this is a good time to wrap it up. Those who are still left in the chat, go ahead and give us some likes while we shout both of my brethren out here before we get out. Chill, let them know what you got going on coming up in the next couple of weeks.
I'm making my way to New Ho King. I'm going over. I'm gonna shoot my little TikTok
I mean,
video.
yeah, no okay eating fried rice with the duck sauce and a blama, Brody.
I'm gonna go
Crody.
viral.
Crody.
Crody, yes. You were blue, not bread.
You cheesing, fam?
He used that wrong. It's cheesed. We don't say cheese in. The act, like don't cheese me and use it incorrectly. No one's cheesing.
No one said, "What are you cheesing, fam?" That was
not
wrong.
Cheesing. Yeah.
Don't cheese me, fam.
Don't cheese me, fam.
Don't cheese me, fam.
Yeah.
For sure. He had that one in the Joe Hill Osmond bar that were, yeah. But the rest of it was pretty good.
Yes.
Darius, let us know what we got going on over there at Planet Fanatics.
We are going to be live again Saturday for Tales of the Jedi, so be looking for that. Be talking about that, Star Wars, and then we'll be live again Monday, Tuesday, and then of course Wednesday for our X-Men 97 reaction. So come check us out.
For sure. And we will be going live Sunday, 5:30, doing Dubs and L's behind the cake. Probably be talking more Drake, Kendrick, discourse. Doesn't seem like that's ending anytime soon. So make sure you guys pop back up on Sunday. We'll see you then. Until then,
peace out.
He doesn't know how to end it. Look how long we're gonna be just watching and waiting for this guy to hit end stream on the top right. The rest.